You didn't wear a hat.
I know, and I hate
I'm proud
everything
of
about
you.
it.
I love your hair. A shaved head is your look.
You think so? You think I look cool?
I think you look so cool
Thank you.
because I can just see you. Imagine if I wore a hat 24/7. Would that not be weird?
Not really a
It'd be
girl. It's
like,
not really a
take the hat
girl
off.
thing
Let
though.
me just see you.
But it's not really a girl thing though. A girl that wears hats all the time, that's a problem.
That is a problem.
Ooh man, a girl that wears, and I guess like a baseball cap. If she's rocking a baseball cap, that's fine.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
No,
but
it's
like,
not.
yeah,
A baseball
yeah,
cap?
at
Why are you wearing a
times.
baseball cap inside all the time?
At times, because it could be a
All the
fashionable
time.
look.
What I'm saying though is I never don't see you with a hat on.
Cause
Because it's not an answer.
yeah, I'm like a
That's
Muslim
not
woman.
an answer.
I'm like a Muslim woman. But you get to see the top of my head.
Anyways, welcome.
Welcome back.
Welcome.
Hello.
Hi.
This is the what is it called?
This is. I don't think we need to introduce. Does
Oh.
Theo Vaughn introduce his podcast
Yeah.
every time? Oh, there is an.
Yeah.
There's a legit.
He has like a
intro?
whole song
Oh,
intro,
we need to work on.
and then he's like, "Welcome back to whatever
Why
his
don't we have
podcast."
a song?
I don't know. I just haven't written one.
Like a freestyle rap?
No, I don't think that's our vibe.
Okay. Anyways, welcome back
Welcome back.
to Hey, Can We Talk?
Hey, can we talk?
I'm Emmy,
I'm Trevor.
and we're hella married and stuff.
We are very, very much.
Yeah. And so we're just.
We got to figure out a new situation for cup holders. This
I
cup's
think it's
heavy.
fine.
No, because it's behind. Can we pull this forward maybe like a little bit more?
Oh my gosh.
It's crazy.
But now it's not centered.
It's fine. Look at you now. Look at you now. Reaching for your coffee cup. You got 56 cups in here. Jeez. Yeah, I can hold that. So yeah, that we're yeah, let her get comfy. It's been a pretty wild past because it's been what, like 2 weeks since we
It's
recorded
been
one.
like 2 weeks since.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
It's
thought
been-
about
it's
just
been a-
selling the equipment and
No.
not doing this.
It's been a
anymore.
pretty wild. It was last week. Our daughter fell off the trampoline and
Oh, and
blew her
busted
wrist
her wrist
open.
open.
We thought
First
she
ER
fractured
visit.
her wrist, but she didn't.
That's right.
But you can see the bone. It was brutal.
It was disgusting.
Yeah. And then we had my birthday, and then we had.
You're skipping around a lot. You went
Did I?
to Idaho.
Oh, yeah, I went
you
to
left
Idaho.
me. I was
I
a
le-
single
dude, my
mom for a
eyes.
weekend.
You were a single mom. How'd you like it?
You know what?
Keep the attitude up. You could be living it.
I will say it was nice to not have your temper in the house for the weekend.
That's cool.
But we were so bored without
I know.
you. Like life just didn't feel right.
Yeah, it was even weird being there, like going to bed, just
Yeah.
like I was just by myself.
Yeah.
I'm
We
like-
were like, because like you've been gone for like a whole day or whatever. Like you work.
Yeah.
We are used to not being with you, but you being gone overnight for multiple days, there was a stillness in the house of like nobody wanted to do anything.
I know. I think I'm the glue of this family. Honestly,
I mean, that's a bold statement. I think,
I'm a bold guy.
but yeah, it's been busy. Life has been busy. Life has
Very.
been chaos.
Life has been so hard. Life has been a struggle. I feel like I'm drowning.
No, we do not feel like we're
I
drowning.
do sometimes.
Why?
It's all sorts of stuff. Work, and then it's like be a good dad, be a good husband. It's a lot sometimes.
You feel like you're drowning right now?
Yeah. Not this moment. But
Like in general?
sometimes.
Why?
I just do. It's a lot to.
Drowning?
Yeah.
Wow. Why drowning though? Like,
I think it's just a good term for it. I don't know the real term for it. But it just feels like
just juggling it all?
yeah,
Mm.
and doing it all to where I
Well, hold on, because you don't do it all.
No, not all that way. Like do all of the things that I'm supposed to do as a husband, a father, a
Oh, yeah.
provider, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Not all. I don't do that much.
No, I think we're in this like we're kind of out of the infant, like we're totally out of the infant phase.
Yeah, it's nice.
Right? But we're in the like and we're coming out of the toddler phase even because
Yeah.
we've potty trained, like we have no more in diapers.
Yep.
Like we're in the childhood teen phase and
Yeah.
this is a very new season for us. And
It's-
so I think just when we thought we maybe were like getting to like, okay, we're coasting,
Yeah.
we're good.
But I think that's just life in general.
I think so.
Like, because then once we get used to the teen phase, then it's like young adult
Young
phase.
adult,
and
yeah.
then it's like my kids are getting married phase.
Yeah.
And then it's like
I
grandparent
will say though
phase.
that the teen phase hasn't been a big thing.
No.
I think it's just like a learning curve of like we now have older children where
Mhm.
like infants they're kind of dumb.
Yeah.
No, they just
I don't care how smart you think your baby is.
they do whatever. You lay them on a blanket, they're not going anywhere.
No.
You can kind of still get your own thing done.
Yeah.
They don't really know what you're doing. They
Yeah.
don't know what you're into.
That's true.
You know, even toddlers, they're like dangerous little idiots. Like they require a lot of supervision.
Yeah.
But our kids are now at an age where they want a lot of like interaction with us.
When you have 4 kids too, it's hard to
Yeah,
spread
there's
that
not
out
enough. Like
between
there's
all of the kids. It's definitely not an easy feat because they all want it at the same time. I
yeah.
said that Southern.
Yeah, you turn into
Had a little mini
Southern
stroke
man.
there. Oh, they
You
all
turned
want it
into a
at the
Southern
same
man.
time.
Mhm.
But yeah,
It's like to meet all of their needs feels impossible. To give them all enough attention, to give them all what they need, it feels impossible. And so then it's just like this new season of life that I think we're in.
Are you kidding me?
We can cut that. We can cut it.
Okay, but the difference is I don't get mad at you. I don't like borderline storm out of the room because of a burp. You guys should see it. She cuts it all out. But when I burp, she gets so mad. It's unreal how mad she gets. Like, we'll be done filming the podcast because she's mad about a burp. Almost. You were shaking one time. You were so mad.
I was shaking?
You were shaking.
I was not shaking,
You
Trevor.
threw that vase at the wall and shattered.
That's insane.
You did.
You can joke about stuff like that.
I can. She punched a hole in the wall.
Stop. No.
That she hit me.
We can't joke about stuff like that.
I can. It's my life. It's a joke.
I don't throw vases and punch holes in walls. No, I contemplate like leaving, but I don't throw things.
You got to stop caring. I go on the internet and I see the most wildly offensive things, and they're fine.
I know, but I don't want to deal with the comments. Troll comments, they bother me. I don't have thick skin yet. I can't see an annoying comment rolls in, and it ruins my day.
No,
I see it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, bro. People of the internet are so easily bothered, and they're bothered by things that are like weird. That was so weak. If you're gonna burp, it needs to be better than mine.
That's impossible.
People of the internet are.
No, you gotta just there's no such thing as bad press. If somebody wants to leave 1,000, just like, that's stupid. Oh my gosh, another podcast. Guess what they did? They fed the algorithm, baby. Someone commented on our shit.
I know, but I feel like I don't want to be problematic.
It's not problematic.
But then you're willing to say things that I'm like, oh, well, you shouldn't be saying that. And it's like the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
So I think I'm always worried that like the next thing out of your mouth is going to be something that gets us canceled. We've worked really hard for our 200 followers. Do not get us canceled.
I'll try not to, but I make no promises. I'm kind of a wild card.
You really are.
Yeah.
You really are.
Yeah, just don't care. Just say what you want.
I'll get there. I care.
I saw a thing Theo Vaughn talked about. This guy called in and they had this guy hooked up with a chick and got his cousin pregnant. Didn't know it was his cousin. It was like a distant.
Hold on. No, hold on. This is Theo Vaughn?
Yeah. He has people call a voice line and leave a message about they're going.
Okay.
And he called and said that, he was talking to this girl. They ended up hooking up. He didn't know it was his cousin. Their family wasn't close.
They never met.
First cousin, by the way. Not even a distant.
Oh, boy.
And Theo Vaughn said, yeah, you're going to want to keep some eyes on that thing for the first couple of years.
The baby.
Get a farrier, get some shoes put on it. I think going to come out with 6 legs, man. But it was just, he didn't care. He just says it.
But he's also so wholesome at the same time.
Yeah.
So even when he says wildly offensive things, he's Theo Vaughn. Like he can get away with it.
He called a duck with Cat Williams. It was a black duck. And he called it.
Oh my gosh, no! Oh my gosh,
Mallard Luther King.
That's funny. I like that.
Yeah.
But that's not like outwardly offensive. I think it's like topical. There's topics that are super triggering for people.
But what I'm saying is, if it's funny, if it's a funny thing you say, the bar for something being offensive.
Okay,
that's the hard part. Because if it's not funny,
what do you think they're fighting about?
I'm guessing Henry took the remote from Mac.
Or you think they can work it out without us?
Yeah, Calvin just said it's okay.
He's the best.
He's a good guy.
He is a good guy.
I like that guy.
That kid.
I like that kid.
But bad news.
What?
And I already think, overthink enough.
Yeah.
And have like chronic, I wouldn't call it mom guilt, but like worry.
Yeah.
And anxiety about our children's childhood.
Yeah, we've talked about this.
Okay, I saw a new term today.
What is that?
And I think one of our kids might feel like one.
What?
It's called a glass child. It's called a glass child, and it's when another one of your siblings gets so much of the attention that you start to feel invisible. And I think, right?
Really?
Yeah. And I think for him, I think we need to be like very aware of this right now as he's getting older and he's exiting that childhood phase of like he's like almost in preteen years, which is weird to think about, but he really is. And I think he probably feels like that sometimes.
That's
and
sad.
I think we can undo it. I think if we're mindful, but think about him and like it makes sense.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
He like tries to problem solve too. And so I don't want it to be double of like he feels invisible and responsible to like fix things because he has to listen to his little brothers cry and scream a lot.
Yeah.
A normal amount, but
they're dictators.
They are little dictators, and they've both
Stalins running around.
They've both been speech delayed, so it was like Henry was mute until 3, and he was just an angry little guy. And
I saw
what?
bugs flying around.
Multiple?
I saw one. That's.
Well,
Can I open that window, dude?
Yeah.
It's hot as a motherfucker.
Yeah. Yeah, probably.
I gotta hit that whistle.
Anyways,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think him being the big brother, even though he has a big sister, that age gap is big enough, and because we share custody, there are times where he's the oldest kid in the house.
Yeah.
And so I think I just saw that today, and
probably
was like,
a lot of older kids feel that way with younger siblings.
But it's specifically when you have other siblings that are like especially difficult. And I do think like our two youngest have been especially difficult in their own ways. Like we love them, obviously. That goes without saying. Why do we feel the need to do that, by the way, as parents? When we want to talk about or like discuss or vent about something so common, we specify, like, to clarify, I do love my children. It's the weirdest concept.
Can you imagine if someone didn't say that? They were like bagging their kid and they're like...
Well, there are moms like that, though. They're like, fuck them kids. I'll tell you who I don't want to be mom friends with. A mom like that. A mom who's like, no.
Wow.
We can talk honestly, openly, candidly. There's no such thing as TMI. If you don't like your children,
it is a weird thing.
Red flag. I can't.
But it's also weird because, like, if you don't like your kids, like, the only people kind of molding them are you.
Yeah.
So then maybe that you don't like yourself. That bug is elusive, dude. You got it.
No, it flew out of my fingertips.
It's right here. I feel like a cat.
Anyways.
What's with bugs just having to fly right by your face?
Anyways, I think we should just be mindful of it and fill his bucket a little bit.
Yeah.
Goes back to like, there's...
Dude, this bug.
Did you get it?
No, it's right there.
A fun little game.
Nope.
This bug was a paid actor. We had it flown in.
Yeah, we had it literally.
Just for entertainment.
Okay.
But it goes back to the prior statement of like, it is hard to meet all of their needs all of the time because they're all so different and they all want and need different things from us. Yeah. And so then to like, there's not enough of us to go around.
There's one noise? Just clapping in the hallway. Stop clapping in the hallway.
Do you need something? What is that?
What is that sound? No, there's like a clapping sound.
What was it? It's still happening.
Calvin, that's you, buddy. Stop doing that. Yes.
Yes, the banging. What kind of question is that? What?
What? Yeah,
okay, stop
doing it. Why do you need to open it and close it?
All right, man. Love you.
Awesome, dude.
Love you too, man. They need hobbies. You need hobbies.
Thank you, man.
You're so stupid. Right. You're so annoying. I have hobbies. I've found hobbies. I'm good. I don't feel lack of hobbies. I don't. But
I'm just burning you a little bit, dude.
Next up, our children. They need hobbies because they don't know what to do with themselves. They have no idea.
No, but they have. I mean, they like the game. They like the.
That can't be your only hobby.
Not your only hobby, but it is. It's my hobby. They see me do it. They know I enjoy it.
That's maybe a problem that they don't know what to do with themselves if a screen isn't on. We cannot pretend like that's not a problem.
We're different. Can you imagine if they were like, my dad plays imaginary a lot? You'd be like, oh, your dad's a pervert, dude. There's something wrong with you.
Maybe a better balance. But I did another fun thing I saw on TikTok.
What did you see?
That big screens and little screens are different. So when they talk about screen time, when they talk about
big screens are big. And little screens are, come on.
I'm not doing it. Tough guy today. Actually,
I know you
it's
do.
Hot.
Thank you.
You took your hat off and you morphed.
Mm-hmm.
You put an oversized tee on.
Not crazy about that.
I love it. I love your vibe right now. You're being kind of mean to me. I like it because I'm usually the mean one.
You usually are.
No, that was hot. I like being bullied a little bit.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. But don't take it. Don't. No, but here's the hard. Don't cross the line.
Here's the hardest part.
Here's the hard part. Is you're gonna cross the line and you're gonna actually hurt my feelings.
No, here's the hard part. Is that the line is invisible.
Yeah.
And
we've
sometimes
been together for so long.
I know, but there's sometimes over the course of our wonderful, happy
shut up and
marriage,
move on with your
there has been times where certain things you like that I say or that I do that you're like, that's cool. And then I do it again and you're like, that was way too far.
Yeah, read the room.
Okay, but then
read the room.
I don't know how.
Oh my gosh, clearly work on that.
Yeah, I don't know how to read a room.
Back to my point though.
Yeah.
Like, because it's shoved down our throats, like screen time, limit screen time. We're no screen household. We're like all of this stuff, right? All great goals to have. But we're so pressured with screen time.
Yeah.
like our generation. And they were talking about, and this was the comment section, by the way. This was not like scientists or doctors. This was just the comment section on a TikTok video, but that's where I hang out.
Could be doctors.
They could be talking about the difference between big screens and little screens, because a big screen is like a community event.
Yeah.
And usually we are watching something together or we're playing video games together.
Yeah, a little screen is more.
They don't each little screens. Yeah, and like our kids aren't hiding away in their bedrooms on like tablets.
No.
If your kids are, I'm also not judging you because that's none of my business, and do what you need to do. A little bit. I mean,
I think it just comes like our kids will have like we don't even charge the iPads anymore, but like when we had the iPads charged, like they would play games. I'm not going to sit here and act like they didn't.
But I know like iPad kids who are also really great kids.
Oh yeah,
well behaved, well mannered, funny. You know, like you just need that balance. I think the problem is like, well, nobody asked me about my advice on that or my opinion, so I'm gonna keep it to myself. The point was,
we don't even know what the point was. I don't think
there's a difference between big and little screens.
There is. Some are big, some are little.
Some are big and some are little.
It
was
deep.
hobbies. It was hobbies.
Oh, hobbies.
Because this is where I think the problem lies, and I don't think we can deny it, is that they don't have hobbies that don't involve screens, and I do think that's a problem. Yeah. Like we will be like, we'll give them endless ideas, right? I'll be like, set up your animals and like shoot them down, and they're like,
they're too old for that.
Then we have to clean it up. They shouldn't be. They should still be in like imaginary play.
Yeah, but our kids are very. Yeah, they're not very imaginative. But
that's a problem, babe. This one gets me every time. We have markers, crayons, quote books, coloring books, all kinds of art material, and I'll be like, draw a picture. Well, can you print me something?
Although they have been doing the little thing that I showed them that I used to do when I was a kid. You draw like the mountains on either side, and there's like a battle. That kind of helps. But
I think we forget that we're the ones that have to show them hobbies.
Yeah,
like what to do. That you gave them a good one. Yeah. Because if screens are off, then they're like fruit flies around me all day, and then I can't do any of my hobbies. Like to be able to read a book, not happening.
It's out the window. You got an audiobook.
I can't take a bath. We had to sit down and talk about like family meeting style.
Yeah.
I had to sit them down and say, listen, if I'm in the bathroom, that's not a good time.
Yeah.
And it was this like light bulb. They were like, why? I was like, well, like mom. Yes, I'm your mom, but I'm also just like me. And I would like to go to the bathroom and wipe my ass by myself, you know? And they were like, okay. And literally now they do it. They'll like stop at the door and be like, oh, you want to wipe your butt by yourself? And I'm like, yes, I do. Thank you.
Dude, there's a beeping. Boys, are you messing with the washing machine or the dishwasher?
What's beeping? Well, it might be that we probably should mute that. That's probably in the background.
Cal, will you turn down the movie, please?
Or just pause it.
Pause it.
Why are you running with scissors?
You didn't pause it.
You didn't pause it. What are you running with scissors for?
Why are you running?
What scissors? Cut what out?
The page. They're doing a coloring book.
Okay, now you're skipping with scissors though. There you go. Thank you. Love you.
But I think that is if you think about it from the perspective of like our kids feel so comfortable being around us that there's like,
oh yeah, I don't want that to end
can just
ever.
Barge in. The only place where is our room. If the door is shut, they'll at least knock.
Yeah, usually.
Or
that's the one, or they'll listen at the door.
Yeah.
Learn that the hard way. God, dude. But that's what I'm saying is like we have come into this new phase of parenting where like I think I've had this like thought that it would get a little bit easier as we went and as they grow up and get a little like independent and all of that. And it's not gotten easier. And I'm not complaining.
I think if anything, it gets harder.
It feels like it's
because you're
harder.
Constantly having to learn something new, and then as they get older, they start developing their own ideas and thoughts and like behaviors and mannerisms and stuff. Where you have to manage that. Whereas when they're a toddler, it's just like
it's all
cry,
mad.
That's it.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm dying.
Are you okay? Oh my gosh,
my throat,
do you talk too much?
My throat closed up. How's that water?
Do you need some ice water? It honestly slaps.
Nothing better than that Sutter Health cup. Remember that cup?
And that was from like my labor.
It's Calvin, you good?
Yeah, I don't know how close to.
Yeah. But yeah, that cup was fantastic.
Where did that cup go? It broke.
And then we got another one when we had Hank.
I know.
And that one just didn't hit the same way.
Dude, see, and like all these phases ending and then a new one starts right away. It's so bittersweet.
Yeah.
And it's gone by so freaking fast. And that's so cliche, but it's gone by so fast. But also it's been a long time.
Yeah.
Like the time warp doesn't really make sense.
No, it's not time warp, it's just time.
And I think also though we've transitioned a lot of times.
Yeah.
In our family story, there's been a lot of transitions, and homeschool has been like a huge transition because I'm not just, right. I was a working mom for 12 years. And to go from that to not only a stay-at-home mom, like of littles, but homeschooling big kids is exhausting. Like
No.
I am needed the second I wake up and I'm interacting all day, interacting, like answering questions. Hey, mom, watch this. Mom, look at this. Mom, look at this. And they've never needed me in that way before.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, the homeschool thing has been another huge transition for our family. And, like, you working outside of the house, we've gone through 2 huge transitions simultaneously.
Yeah.
And then when we're both feeling like we're drowning or overwhelmed, we're forgetting, like, actually what we're dealing with right now.
Yeah.
Like, actually what we're going through. And I think a lot of people do that. They kind of, like, dumb down their situation or life or whatever. And it's being an adult and being a parent is so hard. Even on the best days, there's so much responsibility.
Have you ever had someone that like tells you something and it is a big deal, but they're dumbing it down as if it's not a big deal?
Yeah,
but what
I do it all the time.
No, but like I've had people tell me like stories about like what's going on in their home or like this happened to my brother, and it's like the craziest story ever, and you're like,
yeah,
and they're like, yeah, it's not a big deal. And you're like, oh no,
yeah. But I think
it's such a big deal.
It's such a big deal, but I think people don't give themselves enough grace for that. They go through these like really stressful things, like things that would stress most people out. Yeah. And they kind of beat themselves up about like, well, why am I so overwhelmed? Why am I so like feeling so depressed or anxious or whatever? And then when you acknowledge, oh, I'm literally going through something that like most people would feel overwhelmed about.
Yeah.
I'm not like an idiot.
No, you're not.
You know?
Yeah, I don't think you are.
That's what I would tell people.
That's you tell people? Yeah, what else has been going on?
You turned 33.
Did.
33. How do you like your 30s? Because I've hated them. I've hated mine.
I don't. Just like a normal. And I don't put a lot of thought into
age.
I didn't even know. I forgot my birthday was even coming up. And then Olivia was like, "Dad, it's your birthday." And I was like, "Oh shit, it is." Yeah. I don't know. 30s has been cool. We've had some cool stuff happen in my 30s. Actually, I'm trying to think of 30. Actually, the 30s have been tough.
30s have been brutal, right? Hey,
I'm like, I didn't think, but that just goes. I don't think about it. I don't connect like my age to those things. I just go like, oh, it's been a rough couple of years.
But I think it is also age bound because as kids, you are kind of naive, ignorant to the world. You're living in a bubble of childhood.
Yeah,
that's so special and magical and like kind of stressful in like normal ways, right? Like whatever he's whining about.
Yeah.
And then your 20s are like still exciting. You're like figuring it out. You're excited because you kind of have the world at your fingertips, like whatever. Things are like new and fresh and your parents are young still, so you're probably not dealing with a whole lot of like stuff there.
Yeah, but
then you enter your 30s and your parents are getting older and you become aware of like your family a little bit more. Like
I don't know, like my for me was very similar to my 30s.
Well, your 20s were spent with me.
I know, so like my 30s are also spent with you.
I know, but
and
it's
like
been
I didn't go through that like in my 20s, being a party animal, all this stuff. I'm not
talking about party animal, but there was I think that's unfair. We did a lot in our 20s. We were very youthful. We were like,
I think we're still youthful.
We had zest. But the 30s have been like reality.
We still have zest.
I know, but I'm saying the 30s like reality has hit in the 30s where it's like, it is a weird middle ground where
maybe.
I think the 30s for me have felt really daunting.
I don't know. I think my 40 will be a more daunting one for me, but
really?
Yeah, because my 30s, like I'm only 33, so it's like I am still young.
I know, rub it in.
42.
That's such a stupid joke.
The worst thing in the 30s is my dad dying. That was the worst thing in my 30s.
Yeah, it's a brutal one.
Yeah, so that's
a pretty big one, and that's young to lose your dad.
Yeah, so that was a weird one to think about that. Like, oh, it's my first birthday.
Yeah, first birthday without your dad.
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah,
I didn't even think. Actually, truly, I didn't think about it until our cousin texted us. And I was like, oh, I didn't even think about that. Just threw a little.
No, I didn't think about it either, actually. And I feel like I think about him every day.
Yeah, me too.
And this wasn't one of. I didn't think about it. And maybe it's like you said, because he probably still would not have called you yet.
He would have been like 4 days later, and he'd be like, "Oh shit, buddy, my bad. Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
Your gift's in the mail." Yeah.
And then talk about himself for 20 minutes.
Yeah. I miss him.
What I wouldn't give for that phone call.
The rest of the 30s look like hopefully less death.
I feel like it's a downhill slide from here.
I don't think so.
I feel like I'm 36. When I turn 37, I'm hurling down a hill.
You got to think though, like even at 50, like your dad is. Like, how old's your dad?
I don't know how old my parents are.
Almost?
I think they're in their 60s. They must be.
So they're sick, and they're still getting
I
after
know.
it. So it's like
traveling,
like you
they're
think
doing
about
cool
them, and you're
shit.
like, damn. I think about even my
That's true.
my grandparents are 80, and I'm
But
still like, you guys are like still golfing and going on trips and doing the damn thing. And that's my whole life and some until we're that age.
I know. Maybe okay. Then here's the thing. Here's what I think it is for me is. And again, I love being a mother. I would not change it for the world.
Mhm.
Okay, just to clarify that. I think it's that we've spent kind of like prime years of our lives being exhausted.
Yeah, well,
by
I think that's
parenthood.
but that the luxury. This is the luxury of having kids young. Like
Yeah,
I
I
was
don't regret
21,
it at all.
so like
You had
when
a lot of energy.
a lot of my friends and stuff had their kids way later, and they're in their 30s, and they have like a kid or two kids, all under like 2.
Yeah.
They're gonna be
They're gonna be old ass
so
parents.
exhausted. They're gonna be
That's
so
true.
exhausted when their kid's like 10 and they're 45, 46 at 10. Woo!
Yeah,
That's gotta be tough.
No, I don't regret being a young parent.
Like we'll be empty nesters in
became
our
a mom at
40s.
23. 40s? I'm 3 years away from 40. We're still gonna have children.
In our 40s. Like
I'm almost in my 40s.
You're not.
I'm 3 years away from it.
Okay, but I'm saying like at 45, our kids will be almost all out of the house if they want to.
Max will be 8 years old. We will
When
not.
we're 5? No, it's 4 years away. He's 4.
45 is 7 years away. He'll be 10. We will still absolutely have children living in our house. We're not going to be empty nesters. And I don't want to be. I want our children, the second the last one moves out, I want one of them to have a grandbaby because I can't be an empty nester. You think you've seen me depressed at my lowest? You haven't even seen it yet. Empty nest to me, why even live at that point?
Because we have kids.
Well, that's true.
They
Yeah.
still need us.
Yeah, that's true.
So maybe put the gun away for now. That's
I
pretty
don't
crazy.
like the thought of that. I really don't. But maybe that's been my 30s feels young, but I've spent it just exhausted.
Yeah, well then don't be exhausted.
Thank you. I'm working on that.
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
No, you're not. We stay up till midnight every night.
I just need it. I need the time.
Yeah.
I need the time. I was thinking, you said you feel like you're depressed right now.
Mhm.
And I think reword that you're in a depressive episode.
Yeah.
I think there's a difference. I think when you go like I'm depressed, then you feel like you're living with it. And it's not.
Well, yeah, but
permanent.
your response to that was pretty crazy.
It was, but I think that's because I also feel like I'm in a funk right now. And so how can I be emotionally available for me and for you?
No, I was just telling you how I was feeling.
And you pissed me off last night.
I know, but
so then you come home and you're like, I think I'm depressed. I was like, I think you're just a jerk. I don't think you're depressed. And I'm sorry. That was insensitive.
Yeah.
That was insensitive. I feel like a bitch. Okay, I'm sorry.
It's fine.
But it like that.
No, I understand.
The bug. I didn't mean it. It came off way more cold than I meant it.
Bug is unkillable.
Way more cold than I meant it.
Yeah.
But I also think that is a slippery slope. Because we got in an argument last night.
Yes.
And then to feel sad today, like I don't feel great today. I'm like, but to call that something, I think is a mistake. I think to try to call it something is like, no, we both feel off because we got in a fight and a fight about things that are like normal, but like feelings were hurt, whatever. There's like things that were like, okay, obviously we both need to change. It wasn't like a petty fight. It was a very like deep rooted emotional, here's things that we both need to work on kind of fight with not a resolution really. And so then today for both of us to feel off, I don't think we should call that I'm depressed. It's just like I feel off today. I don't feel right because we got in an argument and there's like unresolved tension and I don't like this.
That's been weeks I felt like this.
It has? Because you hate your job.
I hate my job. I just
you feel like you should be doing more, I think.
Yeah, there's a lack of purpose.
Wait, is this your first midlife crisis? You've watched me go through a few. It might be because you're a very artsy, like creative person, and I think you're reaching that point that I reached a few years ago, where what I was doing was not what I wanted to be doing, and it does create like an identity crisis of like, is this what I'm doing for the rest of my life? And you've fallen into that same rut that I fell in. You wake up, your alarm goes off, you throw on your uniform, you go to work.
Yeah.
You come home, you're immediately hurled into kid life.
Yeah.
Right. And we have a lot of fun with our kids. It's not that. But that monotony, that's what got me last year, especially wearing a uniform. And I know that sounds crazy, but that monotony of like alarm goes off, I put the same uniform on, I go to a job I'm not really crazy about. It doesn't utilize any of my passions. You're good at what you do.
No, I enjoy my job. I just, it definitely.
It's not fulfilling in a way.
It's not fulfilling. I think that's what
And
it is.
do you think that's why you want to play so many video games? Because that's
Yeah.
fulfilling and like that's an interest to you?
Yeah.
And so
100%.
then it's like, okay, all day I do things that are not super fulfilling.
Yeah. Not all day.
For work.
Hanging out with you guys. It's fun. But no, yeah, I think it was just also whenever I'm down or, you know, feel like I'm struggling with juggling everything. Video games are just a way I don't have to think about anything. I just focus on this one thing in a game.
Yeah.
And go like, I am gonna just turn my brain off and just do this for a little bit.
Yeah.
And that might be something that if your husband plays games, that's probably why.
That's a catch-22 though, because do you not think a mom wants to also turn her brain off?
No, 100%. And I'm a big advocate of you playing games. So
I don't want to play games.
no,
so
I know, but what I'm saying is
thing,
if a woman, if you or your husband plays games and that's his thing and that's how he shuts his brain off, I think it's just important for you to kind of think about something that turns your brain off.
Of course you think it is important.
No, because I think that there's not, especially for like someone like me, where I was in the military, I have a lot of friends that I'll probably never see in person. I mean, chances of me seeing them again are probably like, every couple years. So it's like, that's my connection to them.
Yeah.
I'm not a big texter. I don't text my friends text for days. I don't like it.
Yeah.
So it's like video games are a way I can talk to my friends or I can just shut my brain off in like.
And it's just something you enjoy.
It's something I enjoy doing. Yeah, and I know me, like every other 14-year-old kid that doesn't want to work and wants to play video games all day.
Yeah, you really are. You're like,
it's also like
you're like a middle school boy. You're like, I just want to stream.
Yeah, and it's like but it's also like growing up, we had like me and my brother played a lot of like Xbox together and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but whenever
it's nostalgic.
The consoles and stuff got expensive, like my parents didn't have the money to go out
and you move your
go out and buy games and have the nicest console and the nicest mic and headset and all this stuff. So now that I'm an adult with adult money, I'm making young Trevor very happy that we have all this cool stuff and we can play games and stuff. Yeah. I just think that it's just I don't know what it is. I'll be fine.
I think you should change something about your morning. Like, what if we set an alarm and start getting up together? Because we've also never done that.
We can,
and for
but
good
it's hard.
reason.
Like, I can wake up. I can go to bed at midnight and wake up at 6.
Can too. I think I don't think you'll be surprised by this. I sleep in a lot because I'm not ready to like mentally start my day yet.
Yeah, no, I know.
It's not necessarily because I'm physically tired. It's like an avoidance mechanism a little bit of like, I know once I'm awake, I'm on duty. Yeah. Like there's no drive to work. When the kids see my eyes awake, it's on, bitch. They have 5 questions in the queue.
Yeah, they're queued up.
But I think we've never done that, right? We've been having babies our entire marriage, I feel like.
Hell yeah, we have.
And hell yeah, we have. And so I feel like we've been in this constant cycle of sleep deprivation, but we're like on the other side of that. Our kids wake up before us and they watch cartoons. Yeah. We don't have to get up when they get up. And so which is a great luxury, but it's like, we have no daily routine really. And you and I have never set an alarm, got up together and had a slow morning together. Yeah. And I think that would be really romantic to start doing. Yeah. You're way more of a morning person, but I think it might help my day too. Yeah. Where I don't open my eyes to someone needing a snack or something. We're almost done.
No, the best I ever felt was when I was waking up at 4.
Well, I can't wake up.
No, I'm not saying for you to wake up at 4, but like when I was waking up at 4, like I would go out, I'd get my work done in the backyard. By the fire, and then I would drink my coffee.
I'm down.
And then I would like slowly in the summertime I would swim in the morning and then like come inside slowly before the kids were up. I'd make breakfast or whatever. And, but
do you want to try that
at 4?
No, not 4.
But here's my thing: if you do 5, that's running the risk of you're gonna wake the kids up and then they're up at 5, and then now we're early.
But same argument goes for 4 o'clock.
I'd be down to wake up at 5.
Let's try it because I think that's one thing that we can change immediately. Yeah. Doesn't cost money. Like it is one thing in our day we have full control over is just like change the time you wake up. If you're currently waking up hella early, change it. Sleep in a little bit later. Yeah. Right now we're both just getting up whenever.
Well, I get up at the same time every day.
Yeah, but you just put your uniform on and go to work. We don't like get up, drink coffee together, have a moment together, and that I think that would make a difference.
Yeah, I'm down.
And if not, then we'll go from there.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
But I didn't know that you were feeling like that.
That's okay.
No, it's not. Like, why didn't you communicate that to me? Because you know my moods. My moods don't hide. Yeah. At all. Yeah. I didn't know that. I didn't know you felt like that. Like at all. Nothing about you made me think that you were like feeling sad.
Yeah. It's okay.
It's not. I'm saying like talk to me.
I don't know.
How, like, I don't know what I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I just
You'd
think
have
that
to, like-
sometimes whenever I come to you with my emotions, they're kind of like brushed off. So it's easier for me to just not.
In what way?
Like, there's times where I tell you, and it's like, I mean,
Because
those are
you tell
usually an
me
argument,
after
but
you've pissed me off about something.
yeah, but it's
and
like
that's not a great time to tell
no,
me.
I agree.
Because then to me, I'm like, okay, so because I'm upset, you
Yeah.
now have a problem.
No, that's true. I do it at bad
It does
times.
seem like a deflection
Yeah.
or a manipulative.
No, I'm not trying to do that.
But that is a tactic.
Not my tactic.
But it is a tactic.
Yeah, yeah.
So
no,
you
I
have to realize
understand.
how that comes
Yeah, no,
off.
I know.
Is like,
But I'm
it
just,
would be like if I didn't ever tell you how I felt until it was a fight.
yeah.
That's not
But
fair.
emotions are high and stuff, and then whenever we're fine, I don't want to like bring down the mood.
But when we're fine, that's like the best time to talk about that.
I know, but then it's like it like brings down the vibe and the mood, and I don't want to do that.
But the vibe is kind of brought down anyways because if you're struggling silently and then you're like on edge, you're unhappy, you're like,
I'm not unhappy.
okay.
I'm not unhappy. That's not a.
I'm just saying, like, depressed. That's such a big word. I feel like I don't.
Yeah, maybe
use
it's
that.
not depressed. I don't know. It totally could be like.
But I think like depressive episode, yes. But
probably a lot of it stems from my dad. I'm assuming that a lot of it is like subconscious, like
Well,
with
yeah,
my dad.
that's
So
fresh.
that's probably a lot of it. And then it's like work feels very mundane at times. You can't figure
I
it out.
can't get comfortable in this chair.
Work feels super like mundane right now. And with all the other stuff that's in the works and stuff, it's just there's just a lot of things where it feels overwhelming.
You're lacking like purpose.
Maybe a little bit. I want to. I'm ready for. I think
there's also like stagnance. I think when
Yeah.
you're not super like satisfied at your job, and then you fall into the daily monotony of things, and then we're in a phase of parenting that is very like overwhelming and like a little bit daunting.
Yeah.
Right, there's not a whole lot of like individuality right now.
No.
It's like we're doing what we need to do and we're going through the motions,
Surviving.
and that's fine.
Yeah.
But I think when you start to feel this way, that's your sign to like, okay, I can't. It
Gotta shake
cannot
it up.
stay like this.
Gotta shake it up a little bit.
You gotta shake it up, dude.
I'm excited for all the shakeups we got coming.
Same.
I'm excited for those.
Same.
Yeah.
We've been here before. We were literally here with me a year ago.
Yeah, yeah. I'm ready for a new look adventure. I'm ready for some newness.
No, I agree.
I'm ready. Like I don't know. It just seems.
But wait, we just talked about that we've never really settled in. We're always transitioning. Like
Yeah, but I don't think there's anything wrong with transitioning because you could just call it. You can instead of calling it transitioning, you call it growing, and it's a good thing.
wow.
I'm deep as
Damn,
hell,
dude.
I'm deep.
That was hella deep.
I'm deep. I'm
Yeah, I
mad
think
deep.
I think we like fall into these like ruts a little bit and then we reevaluate, and that's why we're just like a fucking power couple, baby.
Power couple, big time, baby. White people, we did it wrong. we
White
did it wrong.
people?
You did this and I did this. That's a
Oh, I
class.
was gonna fist
That's a
bump.
classic white guy thing to do when you go in to shake someone's hand
And he fist bumps instead.
Yeah, like white guys, we never know which handshake anyone's doing. So like my best friends will go for a handshake and they do a fist, and you're like, damn it, you gotta like change it up.
Yeah.
That one and this one right here, when you see someone,
Oh.
that's a big one too.
Why? What's the alternative to that? What do you
Yeah.
mean? Because you're talking about I went in a fist bump and you went for
No, but
high
it's
five,
just
and
a
then
very
you're
like
doing
it's just a very like white guy thing to do. It's like the white guy face. You never heard that before?
No.
It's white guy face. It's where you go like when you walk
Like
by,
a Jeep,
like a
with a
Jeep
face.
wave.
Other guys don't do that.
No, everyone has their own, but that's
Stereotypical. That's
typically that's the white guy's thing.
interesting.
It's very like, hey, how's it going? It's very like, hey, some weather we're having. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
just like basic
Yeah, just,
white guy. It's
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
how's it going?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like when you see a
That's
girl. It's like when you see a
interesting,
girl in
yeah.
a really big hat. You know one of these is coming. Woo!
Woo! You know she's a woo girl.
Oh yeah, when you see the big hat, you know she's a woo girl.
Yeah, your mom bought me a big hat for my birthday,
I
for my
know.
30th
Yeah.
birthday. No, it wasn't 30th because we were here. Probably my 35th or something. I don't know. Anyways, she bought me.
No, that was here. You got that hat. I remember because you came home and I
I
went,
know.
you got a hat?
That's what I'm saying. It wasn't my
Oh.
30th. And we went to Free People, which is way out of my price range.
What is Free People?
A very nice store.
Oh wow,
Okay, I don't shop there often because
it's expensive.
yeah. And it's bougie. Like it's I'm sure I could find things my style, but it is very woo girl, like off-brand Coachella vibes, if you will.
Oh yeah.
Very like boho, right? And I would love to be that girl, but I'm not. I'm like, I tried to get dressed for you today, and this is what I landed on. I was like, get out of pajamas. I've been in pajamas for
Yeah, but
weeks.
you overthink
and I landed
it.
on this.
You think I need you to be in like full clothes? No, I want something where the booty's popping.
Yeah, you want just sexy.
I just want. But you're always sexy to me. But like, I want less. I want that dump truck out.
Yeah, and that's it.
That's it, really. I mean, you
Yeah.
just throw on a pair of those like yoga shorts or whatever they are. I'm happy.
Yeah.
I don't need you to be in jeans and stilettos walking around the house.
Well, yeah, I don't own a pair of heels because I'm 6 feet tall.
You're
But even this outfit,
Yeah.
do you know what our son said to me?
What?
He said, Mom, I like that outfit. You look hot. And I said, thank you. And he was like, when did you get that? And I was like, oh, I've had it for a long time. And he goes, oh, wow. Surprised it still fits you. Yeah. And then he went, how come the bottom's so short? Your whole ankle is showing. And I was teased for high waters my whole life. And I was like, wow, double burn. But he called me hot. And so I was like, whatever. Yeah. It works. It works.
He's trying to hype you up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
It's a good thing to do.
Yeah.
They see me do it all the time. So.
Mm-hmm. Anyways.
Yeah.
We also recently celebrated our 10-year wedding anniversary.
10 years married.
10 years. And so I thought it'd be fun to answer like questions, a few questions that we've gotten from the people.
From the peeps.
Yeah.
From the familia.
And one question comes from a prior student of mine who's now in her like late 20s, like in the dating world, but old enough to be thinking about when do I know it's the one? And that was her question. Mind you, this student watched our whole love story transpire. I don't think she was in our wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah. We could probably say her name. I don't know. Maybe not. Anyways, she asked like, how did you know he was the one? And I think that's such a hard question because that's a lot of pressure. I think you're going to know if they're not the one more than knowing they're the one because that's so definitive.
Yeah.
If you feel off about someone at all, like prior to getting married, no. If there is a pit in your stomach when you think about marrying this person.
A pit is different than like, no, that's so different. You're saying that like if there's anything off.
No, not anything. I'm saying I think more than knowing that they are the one, you will probably have a strong feeling that they're not. And if you have a strong feeling that they're not the one, they're not the one.
Obviously. But I'm saying that, boys, go play in the other room, please. Why are you standing in the hallway in the kitchen?
Go play in your bedroom.
Chimney Christmas.
Their bedroom is, it might as well be an ash dungeon.
Yeah.
Or a coal dungeon or.
Coal bin.
A coal bin like the Willoughbys. Yeah. You might as well make that into a really depressing room because when we're like, go play in your bedroom. Oh, it's as if they're being grounded.
Yeah. Wait, back to what we were saying.
What were we saying?
We're talking about your student.
Oh, wait. Yeah. That's
my thing is, yes, if the idea of being with that person for the rest of your life is like, I think there is a difference. I was 21 when we first started dating, and
that's not the question.
I know, but what I'm saying is, and we broke up because it was scary for me, and like becoming a dad. But I
still felt like you were the one.
No, I knew you were the one too, but it was still a scary thing. So you can't let like little things like just your, the jitters of being married scare you away from it.
But that's what I'm saying. That's a hard question to answer.
I would say,
how did you know they were the one is a hard get that bug.
The checklist would be like, are they like your best friend?
Yeah.
Or like, do you want to do 99% of things with them?
Yes.
Can you do boring things with them?
Yeah.
Can you
talk about literally
anything without any shame or judgment?
Yeah.
Also, if they're weird, that's a huge one for me because I don't want.
That could be a red flag to people.
Yeah, I think maybe you wait till you're married to let the weird out.
But I think that's personality based. Like weird in your way too. Weird in a way that doesn't like turn you off.
Yeah.
No, that's like totally. We vibe, but some people are not weird.
No, some people are super vanilla.
And so they might need another vanilla kind of person. I can't imagine being with someone dry that I couldn't like fart in front of, that I couldn't say some unhinged things. The things that you and I talk about are wild. Like we are so weird. We are so weird. Yeah. I feel the most me around you. Yeah, I don't have to hide any part of me. Like when I hang out with other people, I'm a version of myself.
Yeah.
To like mesh. Yeah. That's anybody. I'm not with that with you.
No, I think that's important. If you can be your true self with somebody.
And maybe that's it. Yeah. I think it's just like, is that person your best friend? Do you want to do everything in life?
And also, is it someone that you would fight for?
Yeah.
Like if it's someone that you'd be like, no, like, I don't care. I don't care if, we're fighting or whatever.
Yeah.
There's no other option besides us moving forward.
Yeah.
Then that's your answer. But if you're like, oh, if they did X, Y, Z, I'm out. And they're not the big three, like the cheating or stuff like that, obviously. But if they're like just kind of somewhat normal things, like I've seen some people being like, if he plays video games, kick him to the curb. And it's like,
you would.
Motherfucker, he has a hobby. Like,
but video games that's a sore subject for a lot of couples. And
it would be solved if once in a month the woman sat down and watched her husband play and hyped him up. It would fill his bucket more than you could ever. If I sat and played my game and you were watching my stream earlier, that made me so happy.
Why would I not watch your stream?
Because sometimes it's like you put it on, there's kids and stuff, but like the fact that you were just watching it, meant a lot.
Yes.
But that's what I'm saying is like little things like that. Because yes, as men, that's our hobby, so we like to do. But getting support by your loved one, your spouse or your girlfriend or whatever, it is a nice feeling.
But the problem is video games become such a sore subject for a lot of couples. And then you want me to sit down and watch you do it? Yes. No, I think be more mindful off the bat of when you're playing and how long you're playing. And has your wife also gotten some time where the kids aren't interrupting her every 3 minutes?
Absolutely.
Because if the answer is no, I don't want you playing video games right now. And I will get off my soapbox because we have spun way out.
Yeah. What's the next one?
But
my heart goes out to you, girl. I hope he's the one.
That's such a
bless up, bless down, keep your crown.
No, I that was cute. That was cool,
That's
I guess.
Super cute.
But yeah, I think just you'll know they're the one if they're your best friend.
Yeah, and you want to fight for them.
Yeah. If you can't imagine doing life with anyone else, they're the one.
What?
Okay, how many minutes are we at?
I don't know.
Because the children are getting restless.
I know, but let's finish these.
The children are getting restless.
They're fine.
And before we move on, to really reiterate, because I've made this mistake once in my life, and I don't regret it because I have a daughter out of it, and I would do it all again. I think the more important question to ask is like, if you feel like this person is not the one, they're not the one. Yeah. Marriage and kids is not going to change.
If you're on the fence and you're like, maybe we should just get married. No, don't do it. Because everything gets amplified so much. Yes. Any little issue you have when you're dating, it could be something that's like, this is kind of a reoccurring annoyance that we fight about a lot. When you get married, it's going to get 1,000 times worse.
And not that you can't fix that, but maybe go to like some premarital counseling.
Yeah, but it's like when you have kids, then it's, okay, well now we're miserable, unhappy, and then now if we divorce, we're going to split up our kids, and our kids are going to have to navigate life in a split family, which is difficult. I came from a divorced family. You came from a divorced family.
We're now a blended family.
We're now a blended family. Like, it is hard.
Yeah.
And
just
so I figure it out before you get married. Marriage and kids will not fix any issue.
And if that gut feeling is saying this is not the one, they are not the one. At least not right then. Like, don't try to force that.
You got some work to do.
Yeah. Like me walking down the aisle, I was like, this is not the one. Yeah. But I didn't want to hurt feelings. And we had all these guests there, right? And I knew how it was going to end, and I still did it. And again, I would do it all again because I have a daughter, but ideally people wouldn't do it that way.
Do you think maybe you could see the future because you knew it was going to happen?
I went to a psychic when I was little. I know you don't like that kind of stuff. Evil.
That's probably why we have some issues.
He was super nice. Yeah, my parents took me.
Which ones?
My dad and Sherry.
Dude, first off, one red flag, you're a psychic. Second red flag, you're a male psychic.
I'm not a psychic, but I have very strong intuition. Yes, I do.
Yeah, you do.
A
male psychic is crazy, though.
No, he's an old man. Really sweet old man.
It's getting worse with everything you say.
And he put his hands on my belly.
Pervert.
And my parents were in the room with me. It did not feel weird. He nailed it. He described that I hold everybody else's problems within me, like that I was full of everybody else's worries and problems. And I was a teen. I didn't have.
He put his hands on your stomach.
Well, that's just like how he read me. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he was reading you all right.
It was a cool. It was a cool experience.
He probably was like, "All right, I'm gonna put my hand on your stomach."
It was a cool experience.
I'm gonna put my hand on your stomach.
But you have to. I am hyper aware.
Yeah, he's saying some demonic prayer to.
He was not.
Yeah, dude.
To impregnate me. Okay, but I am a very hyper aware person when it comes to emotions and what people might go through and how this decision might lead to something. I do think about that a lot.
I do too.
So I don't think I'm psychic. I think I have very strong intuition, and I listen to it.
If you're trying to convince me that you're not psychic, I know you're not psychic.
Oh, okay. Well, you accused me.
I was making a joke. I was just making a joke.
Okay. Where were we?
Next question.
Oh yeah, don't do it. If you think they're the wrong person, they're the wrong person. Give it a rest. Anyways.
Give it a rest.
Give it a rest. I meant go your separate ways, do some growth.
No, but you can just work on it.
No, if they are just flat out not the right person.
But if it's for reasons, like they do this, this, and this, and they're like, I realize I'm doing this, this, and this, and I will.
Big reasons, though.
Oh, yeah, you're talking micro situation.
Mine was a rare, I was knowingly being cheated on, and I still married him.
Yeah.
What did I think was going to happen?
I love you, but you were kind of an idiot.
What an idiot.
Yeah, you were a real stupid idiot.
So the spectrum is wide, but if you in your gut for whatever reason think they're not the one, they're not the one. Yeah, move on, you know?
Move on.
Okay, next question. Who initiates more? And this person, literally the wording was, who initiates sexy time more? With G's, sexy time more.
That's cool.
Yeah, I think definitely you.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I am like touched out, burnt out. I am very attracted to you.
Thank you.
Like wildly attracted to you. It's not that. It's just I am like touched and needed all day long, and I feel like I'm mom. Like I rarely feel like Emmy or your wife. I'm like someone's mom.
Yeah.
And you are fluid. You're like, I'm Trevor, I'm daddy. I'm daddy. Like you're just always on, and I love that about you, and I don't ever want you to stop being that way. I am not like that, and I can't separate. So where you can like catch me in the bathroom and like lock the door, I'm immediately like, oh my gosh, like expectations are so high, and I feel bad. Like I shut you down a lot, but it's not because of you.
Yeah, but it feels that way.
It's because of me, and it
feels that way sometimes. Whenever it's like 6 times in a row, I'm like, Trevor, you got to lose some weight, dude. What's going on?
And I probably haven't showered in a few days.
What is with you and not showering?
Because when?
You showered yesterday.
I did shower yesterday.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I've been keeping a tight leash on it lately.
I've been better. You
need to go
bathe. I do like to. I live in pajamas, but
this was rule 1 that I told you, and you're not following my rules.
But to put jeans on, what a faker! Where are you going?
It doesn't have to be jeans.
What is it then? It's more pajamas. It's cleaner pajamas than what I had on. I don't have like. I do. I feel like I'm the queen of loungewear, but
loungewear is different than pajamas. Pajamas is what you sleep in. Loungewear is what you lounge in.
Anyways.
Yeah, definitely me. Definitely, Mr. Initiation.
Definitely you. And in the moments, the moments it's finally me, you're usually like, babe,
because
I'm tired.
Yeah,
and I'm
it's like midnight, and I have work at 6, and she's like, hey, I'm like, your timing is crazy.
Yeah,
timing's crazy. But it's very rare you get turned down, because you get real upset when you get turned down. I'm like, I get turned down all the time, and you don't see me stomping around the house.
I know. It's because you shoot your shot more. So then when I'm like feeling good, I'm feeling hot, right? Yeah. I want some shit to pop off, and I'm like, I put myself out there, and you're like, nah. Yeah,
that's me every time.
It is not you every time.
Okay, not every time, but a lot. I get turned down a lot.
You do.
My batting
multiple times a day.
My batting average is terrible.
But you put yourself out there way more. I don't.
Gotta throw yourself out there more. Be that beautiful fishing lure. Bloop. Just throw it out there. Bloop.
Okay, we gotta hurry up with these because we're running out of time with the children. What's the main thing that we fight about?
Kids.
Not the kids, but like our parenting styles.
How
I feel like I'm referee between you and the kids. I think that's one of the only things we fight about.
Yeah, that's literally
the kids
and video games.
And video games, yeah, the kids and video games. Those are our two main fights. Yeah, reoccurring too.
Well, yeah, I like video games, and we have kids, so that's never gonna go away.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. But I think we're doing pretty good if that's the only two things we fight about.
Yeah, I think so.
Dungeons and Dragons.
And you know the other thing, because I love to overthink everything that we do. I have felt like we're like ruining our kids because we bicker all the time.
We really don't.
And Olivia made a comment, our oldest, for the listeners, a few months ago, and was like, I hope that I have a marriage like you and Dad someday. Like you guys never fight. And my neck snapped to her because I think we were also in a phase where I felt like we were fighting all the time.
But there's a difference.
She's like, you guys never fight. And I'm like, we fight all the time. And she was like, no, you don't.
We don't.
And no, yes, we do. We bicker a lot.
Bickering and fighting is different.
Feisty.
Like you're feisty.
Yeah.
But like bickering in like a small, like where it's like we're annoyed at each other for a few hours and then nighttime comes around and we're chilling. Like we watch a movie together, like we're hanging out.
Yeah.
But fighting, like yelling at each other.
Yeah.
I think this last year.
Yeah.
Maybe twice of like
yelling
where we're both like loud at each other.
But see, I still think that's so mild. And I think we have.
But coming from your background of fighting, and
yeah, that's true.
I never.
That's true.
The longest relationship I had before this was probably like 4 months.
Yeah.
So we didn't even get to the point where we fought. It was just like.
Yeah.
Okay.
You never got that far.
No, I was like, all right.
Yeah.
And if we fought, I would just break up with them. But yeah, I don't think we fight that much.
I think we bicker a lot, but our kids also see us resolve it a lot.
Yeah.
And that's something that we've never been to like, can I speak to you in the next room? We'll just like hash it out.
Oh, I try to say no.
You do not. You want to hash it out in front of the kids.
No, I say, can we go talk about this here now?
Oh, because I don't want to.
I don't want to. This is
I
how you do it. I don't want to.
No, because sometimes I don't. I'm like, nah. It's gonna be a bullshit conversation. No, let's just wait an hour. And,
no, but
she's the queen
of.
Fine.
We're in a fight right now. No, she's the queen of. She gets her point across. She gets to say everything she wants to say, and then she goes and cuts the conversation. Yeah. I don't want to talk about it, and then I don't get to say anything. And I'm like, no. And then that's what amps me up to like follow you. So like, I want to say what I. So don't stop doing that.
Okay.
Stop. Okay. Pissing me off. Dude.
Okay. Yeah. But we've never been the type to like, look, can we take this to the next room? No, I kind of want our kids to like see and hear how we resolve it, because it doesn't ever get that bad.
No, it's
like just bickering. It's like we're siblings.
Yeah.
And I think they just see it play out. I think that's like bad marriage advice number whatever we're on now.
Yeah. Never
like, don't do it in front of the kids. Okay, so that when they bicker about who changed the last diaper someday, they think their marriage is failing.
That's true.
I think they need to hear you have healthy
Yeah, we're not talking screaming.
Or name calling or like anything.
Yeah,
like
we
that.
don't name call. And if you do name
bickering.
call, it's the kids aren't around when you name call.
No.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just a cute comment, because in my mind, I've worried that we like bicker too much, or like, our kids shouldn't see us fight or whatever. And then to hear her be like, I hope I have what you guys have. And she created a fan page for us.
Yeah, it got hacked and we almost lost our family fortune.
We don't have time to go there, do we?
No, we'll talk about it next week.
Yeah,
we'll talk about how she almost lost all of our money.
In those moments where I worry that we're failing in that regard of like modeling a healthy marriage, a strong marriage, and then I realize that our kids see us date and they see us flirt and they know how in love we are. Like, they make jokes about like, oh, you guys are going to go make out. I'm like, I need to chill out because we're doing just fine. And I think a lot of parents are probably doing so much better than they think they're doing in their kids' eyes, where it's like, chill, you're good. We're good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Last question. How do you avoid becoming roommates? And we've talked about this before, but I think that's a common question that a lot of couples deal with, of like feeling like you get in that roommate phase. I don't know that there's an avoiding becoming roommates.
I think you will become roommates
that rut.
At times. I think it's like the season. It comes and goes.
Yeah.
Depending on what you're going through in your life, you're definitely going to be in the roommate phase because when you have kids, and especially like infants, I think a lot of people are in the roommate phase when they have like an infant, especially if it's not sleeping.
Oh,
like you don't have that. Yeah. You don't have that space for you and your significant other.
But you kind of do in the infant days. I feel like,
but you're so exhausted that you're like you don't have, and it's like if the dad's working, the mom's exhausted.
And I think, the roommate thing does
it's carving out time for you and your spouse,
and non-sexual time. I will say, as in those infant days, the bond between you and your spouse does become way more emotional than sexual.
Oh yeah.
And so I think, like, especially for men, because men are way more sexually driven.
Well, it's locked up for like 3 weeks. You can't do anything. 6 weeks.
Okay, but postpartum goes much longer than that.
No, I know.
And so I think being really mindful with each other of like, this is brand new. Like, you became a dad, I became a mom, and lean into the emotional bond that you have with your spouse to avoid that roommate phase.
Yeah.
And to not get trapped in the like, oh, it's been however long since we've had sex. Okay. You have a newborn baby.
Yeah.
Like, you're fine. Lean into the other things, connect in a different way, and know that you'll get back there someday.
You'll get there someday.
But yeah, that sleep deprivation and postpartum wreaks havoc.
And also, I mean, we've talked about it before, lighting in your house.
Oh, you're switching
to
bam, next
no, that's
piece of advice.
That's our roommate phase.
No, I know, but I'm saying in the infant days that I don't think anyone's worried about the lighting, but set the mood of your house.
Yeah.
You're right. I guess that goes for any phase of life.
Any phase of life. If your home is harshly lit and you know, and it sounds, if you have very bright lights in your house,
turn the big light off.
Turn the big light off and tell me, and then leave a comment and say like, you know what? After a week, be like, dude, my life feels so much more sexy. And
you think vibey lights could get people through every phase a little bit better?
I think it would help.
Yeah,
in a lot of phases, maybe not some, but I think we've talked about it before, so people that have listened from day one. Yeah. This is all known information.
Yeah.
But like romanticizing life and just having, it changes your whole mood.
Yeah.
To where like if you have plants in the house and you got the lights dim. Yeah. Because then everything else is almost amplified. Like, think about this. You're sitting on the couch with your spouse.
Yes.
You're both tired.
Yes.
Right? You got a newborn baby.
Yeah.
You finally got him to sleep at a reasonable hour.
Yeah.
What
reasonable is probably 10:30, by the way.
Yeah, it's reasonable.
And you're both exhausted.
You're both exhausted,
yeah.
right? Here are the two scenarios. Scenario 1. You're sitting under giant fluorescent light bulbs watching a show.
No, probably both on your phones.
Both on your phones.
Watching a show.
Giant fluorescent light bulbs with The Office playing in the background.
Oh.
Okay. New Girl playing in the background.
That just brought back, because you used to play Arrested Development, and every day. Yeah. We did every day. We went through the motions. Newborn.
I was in my postpartum phase.
Newborn baby stuff.
Yeah.
And then let's just watch Arrested Development all day and then fall asleep at some point and do it all again. Yeah. That was triggering for me. I'm sorry. Continue. I'm sorry.
So you're sitting under the big lights. Guy sitting on the couch. He's kind of glancing over at his lady, being like, I wonder.
He wants to know if he can push
the envelope a little bit.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, God, no.
She feels the pressure.
Yeah. She's like, no, I don't, I'm tired.
Yeah.
I just want to be on my phone for a little bit, and then we'll go to bed.
Yeah.
Other scenario.
That's scenario 1.
Yeah. Scenario
Very
2.
Common.
Lights, sexy. You got a nice orange hue in the entire room. You got the show on, but you're not really paying attention to it.
You have a candle going,
maybe
or incense.
A candle or an incense going. Mm-hmm. You're sitting there. You're on your phones.
You have a drink of some sort.
You have a beverage, a water, a beer, whatever. Yeah. Sit on the couch. You look over your lady. I mean, you have orange glow on you. You look nice.
Yes.
She looks up, and you kind of make a joke. Because the vibes are correct.
Yeah.
She's going to be like, huh,
it's romantic in here.
It's nice in here.
Yeah.
Why don't you come sit closer to me? Sit a little closer. And then.
Yeah. Then you go, should we do something crazy?
Ooh.
Should we DoorDash something?
Hey, why don't we actually? I need some help in the bedroom.
Oh my gosh, you're always taking it there.
I couldn't get the drawer, but can you help me? And she's like, oh yeah, I'll help you.
DoorDash first before you mention that.
No, and then while you're in there, you go, it'll be here in 30 minutes. Oh, what are we gonna do for the next 30 minutes?
No, see, I'm out. You put too much pressure on it.
No,
you put too much pressure on it.
It's worked before.
You put too much pressure on it.
It's worked before.
You did.
I'm very smooth, so
you are smooth, but that's not required.
I know. I'm trying to be. I'm just being funny.
If you feel
absolute,
you are funny.
Butthole.
You are funny. I'm just saying that was a lot of tips in one.
I know.
That was kind of a crash course.
Yeah.
If you feel like you're in the, I don't think there's any avoiding the roommate thing.
No, there's not.
When you get there, inevitably, when you get there, you're dripping all over that.
I be dripping, dog.
When you get there, acknowledge it. Yep. Right? Bing. Feeling like roommates. Yep. Switch something up.
Spice it up.
Spice it up. Set the mood. Play some music while you cook dinner.
Yeah.
Start a new show together. Have some vibey lights, not the big light, a candle, what have you. Right? But that's that. Again, this is a spectrum. How deep into roommates are you feeling like?
Yeah, if you're feeling like,
if you're deep into roommate phase where you're like, I don't think we love each other anymore, marriage counseling. 100%. Marriage counseling. And it took one session for us.
Yeah,
like, I'm not saying, oh, we're doomed. We're going to be at years.
But if you're
counseling.
in the new phase where you're like, oh, it's starting to feel kind of stagnant.
Yeah.
That's when you go, hold on, let me grab the chilies out of the garden and let's spice this thing up.
Let's spice it up. We need a date night. Let's take a shower together tonight.
Ooh, I love a good shower.
I know.
We
were going to do that last night. The kids were going to start you a shower and say, Dad, I started you a shower, and guess who was going to be in the shower waiting? The kids were all in on it. I was going to be in there waiting.
That's fantastic.
I know.
Why didn't you do that?
Well, we got in a fight. I know.
But yeah, do something fun.
Spice it up. Try something.
Change
Go on a date. Plan a trip. I don't know. I don't know what people's budget is.
Dude,
I thought you were going to say rip a joint.
You could rip a joint too.
Do that. You could do that together. Yeah.
Just whatever. Just spice it up a little bit.
Cut your bangs.
Don't do that. It's never
I've done it.
Out.
Move furniture. Talked about that. Move where your bedroom's at. If you're feeling like roommates, move your bedroom furniture, because now you're sleeping in a different room. It might switch up the feng shui just enough to pop things off that night.
Here's the biggest piece, and we'll end it here.
We'll end strong.
This is the biggest piece. Talk to your spouse.
Talk to each other.
Like, if you're feeling like roommates, because we can be kind of dum-dums and not see things. If you are feeling like roommates with your husband, tell him. You're like, dude, I feel like we're like slipping into like a weird like roommate phase.
Yeah, have the and he might go like, what are you talking about?
And then that's where you direct him to the podcast and have him listen to the podcast so he can get fully educated on all things marriage.
Yes.
But just talk to him.
Talk
to your spouse. If you're a guy listening to this, which, what's up? Talk to your wife.
Did you just do the white guy? What's it?
Yeah.
It's gone.
No. Just talk to your spouse.
Yeah.
Talk to your spouse. Figure it out. You guys are in it together.
Yeah. Don't let the roommate phase slip so far out of control where you haven't acknowledged it with each other.
And then it goes from the roommate phase, the landlord phase. That's for if your spouse is the one that pays all the bills, you're just living in his house. You're so unhappy. You feel so distant from roommates. Now you got a landlord. And now you're just like, you're in the landlord phase.
Yeah, don't become that.
Don't get landlord phase.
Landlord-tenant phase?
Landlord-tenant phase. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Just coined it just now.
That's right before divorce.
Yeah,
we
no,
don't
that's
want anyone to get that far.
no. And if you're at that phase,
we got that far.
We got borderline.
We got really close to that.
Borderline.
We got really close. And I wouldn't say I was like shopping for an apartment because I couldn't afford it, but I was envisioning different living situations within our house.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? He can have that room. I'll have this one.
Yeah.
A sleep divorce, if you will. Yeah. I was considering it.
No, I know. That's why
and then that's when we had one of the hardest conversations. And when I was like, dude, I think I want a divorce.
It was not a fun. It was over the phone.
But we had to have the conversation.
Yeah.
It was in our kitchen. It was not over the phone.
It was over the phone. You texted me.
No, it was in our kitchen. It was in the kitchen.
You might be right.
Yeah. But it's because we avoided the hard conversation.
You put it off for too long. And I didn't know I mean, I knew a little bit. But
yeah.
The postpartum was really bad.
It was
but I didn't
so
know
bad,
that.
yeah. And then we did go to counseling.
Yeah, went to counseling and we're right as rain now.
Look at us.
Look at us.
Look at us go.
All right, well, there it is. We love you guys. Thank you again for everyone that listens and comments and all that stuff. If you know anyone that's married and you think they might benefit from some of our bullshit, send them our way.
Send them our podcast.
Send them our podcast.
And we'll just keep talking.
Keep talking. But yeah, we really appreciate all the support. It's been leaps and bounds of what I thought it would be. So I'm very thankful for each and every one of you. And
wow, you ended that on a really serious note.
Well, I love you, and I'm a very serious man.
Wow.
I've changed. I'm 33. I changed.
You're growing.
I'm very serious, and
that
that's
was so heartfelt.
Thank you. I'm Mr. Heartfelt.
That was really sweet.
That would be my singing name, Mr. Heartfelt.
Okay. We should go cook our children dinner now.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
All right. We love you guys.
Love you. Bye.